Here we are again. Winter is almost over and spring is coming. And if you're like me from 2 years ago, you are getting the itch to want to ride a motorcycle really bad. Maybe you've been watching a lot of YouTube videos and you're wondering, man, I really want a motorcycle and I've watched so many videos on them. I've watched Reverend Rez buy his 675. I watched Jixabra. I watch all of them. I really want a motorcycle. I just don't know where to begin. You're watching the right video because in this video, I will be going over 5 things to consider before buying your first motorcycle. So one of the first things you want to consider when you buy your first motorcycle is the budget. And this is the biggest thing. Now, I'm saying budget as in you don't have to budget for the bike necessarily. There's a lot of other things that come with the bike, like considering your gear prices. So you're going to want a helmet. You don't want to cheap out on that. Your gloves, your pants, your jacket, your boots, your backpack, and a cardo if you really want to and listen to music or anything like that. Any modifications that you're going to make to the bike, like an exhaust, whether it's a full or a slip-on, an air filter, different tunes on the bike, if you want to paint the bike a different color, or if you want to wrap it a different color. There's a lot of different prices to consider before you actually buy your bike. How can we forget about the insurance and registration as well? That will also cost you because some insurance rates with different companies and depending on your driving record, it may be a lot for your insurance on a motorcycle. All of these things are going to be different depending on the actual rider, but it's just something to consider because at the end, yes, you'll save money on gas, but these things will indefinitely add up. It isn't about the price of the bike, but all the things that come with it. Let's walk through a quick scenario as a new rider looking at a bike now. Now, none of these I am listing is something that I prefer or is better than the other. It's just some quick things that I found and reference this video. So let's say we get a helmet for $299. We get some gloves for $129. You get some pants for $299. You have the jacket, $189. Your boots, $239. And your cardo, which is about $351. Now, before tax, and that all depends on your state and how that all works for you, before tax, we have $1,506. Now, maybe some of you have $1,500 saved up for a down payment on a motorcycle, but you really don't have any other kind of money for the gear. And the gear is really important. It's not something that you really want to cheap out on. And this is not even considering the prices of any kind of modifications, which could definitely send the prices up to about $3,000 or more. So you're looking at about $4,500 to $5,000 after you buy the motorcycle. Whether you finance or if you buy it outright is completely up to you. It'll be a good segue into my next topic. You have to know what dealership you are headed to and go in prepared. You want to go with a reputable dealer, and you definitely want to compare MSRPs, comparing them to different prices all around, and you don't have to stick necessarily to one brand, but shop around, look around, compare prices. My biggest tip for you, and this goes for cars and motorcycles, is don't go in overly excited. Dealerships will take advantage of it. Some good workarounds would be, hey, I'm here to just look for a motorcycle. I haven't really set my mind on any. I saw some of your prices online, and I was seeing what we could work out. I want to go in there and say, dude, I have saved every little penny that I have for this Ninja 600. I really want the ZX6R so bad. I want that 636 so much. I am like thirsty for that thing. I've been looking at it. I've been licking my lips. I've been dying to see this bike. I just want to buy it. I'm willing to do anything it takes to get that bike. Obviously, that's a little dramatized, but you come in really excited like this. Hey, dude, it's my first bike. I've been dying to get on this bike. It's been my dream bike, and I saw the price online, and I wanted to go take a look at the bike. Like, I'm really excited about this bike. This tells the dealership is that, hey, we can milk this person for every penny that they have. And if you don't think the dealership will do it, go in and give it a try, and then go to a different one and try a different approach where you're much more calm and collected, and you'll see the difference. At the end of the day, they just need to make their money, so they're going to try to make as much as they can. Go in cool, calm, and collected, and with a game plan, and not just going off your emotion and excitement over a motorcycle. Yes, getting your motorcycle is very fun, and it's a very exciting time, and your first motorcycle will be a memory that you will have forever. Don't let them milk you of every penny you have. It also goes to say you don't have to sign and you don't have to settle. Salesmen will be desperate to make that sale. Something looks off or is not making any sense to you, then say, hey, I think we need to revisit this number or I'm going to go look elsewhere. There is nothing that is keeping you there. You did not sign it. You didn't settle on anything. You can turn around and get a better deal somewhere else. More than 8 out of 10 times you will find a better deal. And also, don't stress on the extended warranties. Most bikes, especially brand new, come with manufacturer warranties. And while you're out there at the dealerships and you're looking around online, you don't have to worry about finding the right bike. That is my third topic here, is finding the right bike. Your first bike you buy will not be your last, but I will say you will remember it forever. There's a lot of things to consider when you buy your first motorcycle, like your weight to height. If you are a really tall person and a bike seems very small to you, then it's probably not the bike for you unless that's what you want. Or the opposite, where you are short and you get a pretty big bike and you realize you can barely keep one foot on the ground. Maybe that bike isn't for you. I mean, unless you want to just work out one leg over the other. Your skill level to the power of the bike is also something to consider. There's plenty of people that start on 636 bikes, and there's plenty of people that start on 300s. No one answer is the right answer for everyone. Some people will be more confident in their riding skills, and some people will be less confident. Some people will be more nervous, and some people will be less nervous. Now, that's not to say that that crazy friend that you know should be starting on a 636. Maybe he should have gone on a 300 first. And I think we know someone who started on way too powerful of a bike. And there's also stories of people who started on a 300 and got bored of it like immediately. That is another reason why budget is important. You don't want to spend too much money on a 300 or a 450 or a 400 of any sort because you'll probably outgrow it pretty quick. A lot of things to consider too is what kind of riding will you do? Will you be in the city? Will you be in the country? Will you be more suburban? You know, what kind of riding are you into? You more sporty or spirited rides? Are you much more of a cruiser kind of guy? You just want to chill on a cruiser, much more of a naked? There's so many different kinds of riding styles that are out there. I think it's good to try a few different styles, even if you think you're dead set on one. And the final point on this one is don't fall into the brand hype. There's no one saying that you have to get a Ninja. There's no one saying you have to get a CBR or a CF Moto or whatever. Try the bike out yourself and really don't consider online advice to be 100% truth. I say that ironically as I'm trying to give you advice, but take every little bit of advice or bike advice you get from YouTube or Reddit or whatever with a grain of salt. You are definitely smart enough to make your own educated decision and not just kind of follow a bunch of people blindly. Fourth topic I want to touch on before you buy that motorcycle is to take a MSF or endorsement class or a safety class of some sort. Whether you do it through a college nearby you or you do it through Harley Davidson, doesn't matter. What does matter is that you pick the right one, obviously. If you go to one and they're all like, hey, the instructors spit on me in the middle of the instruction and they don't really care and they weren't listening to me and they weren't coaching me one-on-one, then I would reconsider. It is your money after all. That being said, it will be a little bit money depending on where you go. For example, the one I did at Harley Davidson was about $350. I know a lot of places will do it cheaper for about $100. It depends on where you go. Also to consider that sometimes you get what you pay for, so be careful. I can see a lot of squids in the comments saying, yes, oh yeah, illegal is so much cheaper. Just ride illegally. Yeah, dude, you don't even need to do all that. Just go for your license. You're going to be good. That is not advice that I would take. Yes, illegal is 100% cheaper until you get caught. There's a lot of things that the MSF will teach you, especially if you're a new beginner and you've never touched a motorcycle before and you're just getting into it, like me, that they'll teach you a lot of different basics and how to eliminate some bad habits that a lot of people just kind of carry on as they ride a motorcycle. Now, personal experience is I failed my MSF course the first time, didn't take the retest. I ended up riding on a permit, and I learned a lot from the MSF that I applied to while I was practicing on my permit that made me ace my riding test at my local DMV. There's a lot of people that I have rode with in the past that are injured now and they can't ride anymore, where they kind of took safety on the back burner and all the extra lessons on the back burner, rode illegally, and there's no real price that you can put on your life or your own safety or your well-being. So I don't really think that paying $300 is a little bit expensive if that means saving your life or preventing an injury or causing unnecessary damage to your bike. I don't know if you have seen my post on Instagram. I'm sure maybe some of you have come across it. It has gone completely viral on Instagram where I almost got hit by a car that was going through a red light. And if you could see in the video, I didn't properly look left and right like you should at a green light. Yes, in a perfect world, we wouldn't have to look left and right. We should just go at green. But unfortunately, people don't like to pay attention to rules, and it is up to you and you alone for your safety. Especially if you are on a motorcycle, and I speak from experience, and I say this so that you guys don't make the same mistake I did, because it almost cost me my life, is to look both ways before you cross the green light, especially if it just changed. I have read the same comments millions of times over. Oh, let me just put it to rest and say, yes, you are 100% correct. I should have looked left and right before I went through the green light. There is really no excuse for it. And honestly, it's something that I will learn from, and I hope that you guys take that video and learn from it too. That is why I posted it. So there's some pretty nice comments on there too, so I won't disregard that. So appreciate all you guys that are thanking me for not unaliving Now, the last thing I want you to consider before you get your motorcycle for the first time is do not get caught up in the stigma. Don't get caught up in, don't get the new bike. You don't want to finance your bike, man. You don't want to do that. If that's what you could afford at the time and you want to ride and it's more fuel efficient for you and you've always wanted to do it and you have the money to do it and you want to build your credit, go for it, dude. There's nothing stopping you. If you want to go old, buy used. You want to get that bike for the full price you made, and that's fine. There's benefits to both of them. New bike, you'll get the warranties that come with it and any different repairs, especially if you're a new rider. It's good to have because maybe you'll learn something from that. Or if you just want to learn yourself, you can get an older bike, get it, not be afraid to drop that bike at all, and then you can work on it yourself without worrying too much about messing with the warranty. That goes with other stigmas too, like, oh, hey, he's got a Chinese bike. Oh man, he rides a Japanese bike. Oh, he's riding an American bike. Whatever, doesn't matter what kind of bike. Going back to the 300cc versus 600cc for your first bike argument, it doesn't matter. It's your comfort level. Everyone's comfort level will be different, especially when they first start riding. You fall into that old argument of only real men or women will ride a blank. No, Ralph, I don't think I will hop on your Harley Davidson. I think it's an overpriced piece of shit. With the idea that you have to ride reckless or be in a gang or whatever. Said in many of my other videos, if you're riding with somebody and you don't feel safe with them, it is 100% in your control to turn around and you don't have to do that. There's really no one else to blame but yourself. And honestly, there's nothing telling you that you have to be that bike TikToker, if you know what I'm saying. If all your friends have ZX6Rs and you really want a CBR or you want a CF Moto or whatever, maybe you want a different kind of bike. Maybe you want to get a naked bike. Maybe you want to be that one guy that stands out. You ride what you want. As long as you have made an educated decision and you are happy with yourself and your decision you made and you are safe about it, that is truly what matters. That is it, guys. These are the 5 things. Again, recapped is budget, the dealership that you go to, finding the right bike, taking an MSF course, endorsement class, and not getting caught up in the stigma. Now, if you can think of any other thing to consider before buying your first bike, please drop that down in the comments below. Not just for me, but for anyone who's watching this video so that they can absorb as much information as they can so that they know what they're getting themselves into when they buy their first bike. Because inevitably, if you're thinking about it now, you'll probably end up with a bike pretty soon coming up here in the first few months of spring. So these aren't the end all be all. There's plenty more to take from this. It's just something that's been on my mind, especially as we get closer to warmer weather, which I am really excited about. That's all I got for you guys. If you liked the video, please feel free to leave a like. If you didn't like the video, you can definitely leave a dislike. Any other thoughts, comments, concerns, questions, or any whatever you can think of, drop it into the comments below. If you aren't subscribed and you want to see more of my content, please hit that subscribe button and check out more videos. I have plenty on my channel. If you are subscribed, I really appreciate you sticking it out in the long run with me. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.